we had you on this podcast a couple years ago, and we talked about adversity and how like you learned from Ozzie Newsome that is one of the core questions to ask. We do that at Elite 11. I'm sure you still do that now in your draft prep. I love doing it as a college football analyst with the Big Ten Network and Fox. To that point, I've never asked you, DJ, like, what was a moment when you had to navigate adversity, whether it was early, maybe it was recent, but I'd be really curious because you have this, breadth of not only experience, but all of these people that have taught you how they've navigated. I'm curious how it has manifested into how you navigate it.
Yeah, I that's a great question. I've found in my life that all the best things in my life followed adversity. So now in some ways, and I'll give you the stories in a second, but in some ways when adversity strikes, I kind of get excited because I'm like, oh, God's got something incredible in store for me on the heels of this. I can't wait to see what it is. Like a present. I can't wait to open it up. But I'll go back to when I was in college and I'm playing it. I transferred from Northeast Louisiana. I'm playing at App State, and it was kind of a battle for the quarterback position. I finally, for 3 years, really was kind of off and on. We were sharing this position. So my senior year, I have a great off season, a great summer. I was physically exactly where I wanted to be. I felt great. It was the first time we opened up against Wake Forest, and it was the first time as a college player. It felt like high school. It felt like the game was like really, really slow, which was fun. And we ended up beating Wake Forest, but we're in the first, right towards the end of the first half, and I feel great. And we run an option, and I get my knee buckled, so I'm out. And I remember thinking, kind of like question God a little bit, like, gosh, all this work to try and get to this point. It's my senior year. We have a really, really good team, a chance to win a national championship. And then I make it literally one half, and it was an MCL, so it was going to be like 4 to 6 weeks at that time. So I remember at the time being so down and so bummed and so frustrated. But because I was injured, I was getting treatment in the training room, and my brother's college roommate was a scout for the Ravens and happened to be coming through App State to scout our pro guys, of which I was not one. But he recognized me. It was TJ McCrate is his name. He recognized me getting treatment in there, and he came over and talked to me. He hadn't seen me in several years. And I remembered him. And so we struck up a conversation and then kept in touch. And through that injury, through me being hurt, if I'm not in the training room, he doesn't see me out at practice. He doesn't make the connection. There's nothing there. But he ends up then asking if fast forward. So then I graduate. I'm working for ESPN right out of college on Sunday Night Football. So I'm doing a Ravens game. I'm in the press box, and I run into TJ again. Well, if I hadn't seen him in the training room, I never would have recognized him, wouldn't have known he was with the Baltimore Ravens, wouldn't have made that connection. So we connect there. And then he asked if I'd ever be interested in scouting, which I'd never thought of. And I was literally like just a lowly production assistant at ESPN, way behind the scenes. And then so I ended up going and volunteering at the Combine, interviewed, got a job into scouting. So like to boil it all down, I've been working in the National Football League in some way, shape, or form for over 20 years. And it's all because I hurt my knee in my senior year. So of like a moment of like, you could be bummed and like, why is this happening? Like I never would have got a training camp invite to the NFL as a player, but God took this different path and gave me literally a lifelong career that's been very good to me because of that adversity that I had at that point in time.
That's awesome, man. And it's so fun. I'm sure you enjoy it too, talking to guys in the NFL when they come back from the Combine, or you're covering it on NFL Network with tremendous detail, what they glean from the room. Even if it's off the record. Like I was talking to a coach last night, and he was telling me about a conversation in Indy during the Combine with a player. And it was just like, that's a really cool lesson learned that I'll never say on air, but I will embody that and use with my kids, with our flag team, whatever it might be. And you're right. Like football just keeps teaching us in so many different ways.